Welcome to the 11 Winery virtual happy hour, live on the interwebs. I'm Matt Albee, and I will soon be joined by Natalya is joining me from what we call the tasting room, tasting in quotes because we can't actually do any tasting there. Try and get Natalya on our split screen Instagram, and we'll see. Hey, the gang's all here.
Hi.
Hello.
I love the air quotes around tasting.
The tasting room.
I can tell you all about it from the door. Learn about it here.
All about the tasting. Yeah. How's it going down there? How's your day been?
Well, first, I see pollen just like flying by the door all the time. There's so much pollen outside. It's like a green, just like wall that just goes through town. But it's been really nice.
Yeah.
Gorgeous day. A lot of people out walking, which is nice because then I get to talk to them through the door.
Yeah. That's from like 10 feet away.
Exactly.
With a cross breeze. So everybody's totally cool.
What'd you do today?
Um, I did, I made some good progress on planning for the coming months. As I'm sure you can imagine, like having 3 months worth of sales knocked out of your budget is like a little challenging, a little tricky.
A little stressful?
A little bit, yeah. Some nights I sleep better than others. Last night, not so good, but made some good progress today. So I think we're in good shape.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. I did not get out for a ride yet, so I'm planning on going out after. So
Ooh, like a sunset ride?
it's pretty nice riding in the evening, and now there's hardly any traffic any time of the day, but especially in the
True.
evening, it's like nice and quiet out
Where's your
there.
favorite place to bike on the island?
Well, my favorite place to bike on the island, I really love the Manitou Beach drives, particularly
Ooh.
beautiful. But today my workout takes me up to the top, up to the high point up here by Wilkes Elementary at the intersection of Day Road and Madison, and then it's like hill intervals. So there's like 7 ways up to the top of the hill there. So I'm gonna ride them all.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, my son Cole and I are doing like a 2 month training block. Since we just by chance we have
How's the time?
he has 2 months off of school. So hey,
Why not?
and like before all this came down, we were doing mountain bike races every weekend, and as you know, it was going really well. Kind of bummed that those got canceled.
Yeah.
So we figured we would take this opportunity to get some training in before races start up again, which hopefully they will start up again. June, we're looking at June.
Yeah, exactly. Cross your fingers, cross your toes,
Yeah.
cross your legs. I don't know.
Hey, did you hear about the two guys who stole a calendar?
No.
They each got 6 months.
Dude, that's funny. I like that.
All right. Well, everybody, welcome to the 11 Winery virtual happy hour. Hello to Robin and Mike in Puyallup.
Hello.
That's really funny. I thought RB mom was Rachel Bayless's mom.
This whole time.
The first time. And then I saw that it wasn't.
No.
Hi, Robin and Mike.
Oops.
And Chuck's here, and Candy's here, and Ted and Cece, and Craig and Melissa, and it's like the gang's all here. It's awesome. So welcome everybody to the 11 Winery virtual happy hour, bringing together the 11 Nation for online wine tasting. Just because you're staying home and staying safe does not mean you have to stay sober. And I hope you all have had a good day. And I'm Matt Albee, founder and winemaker of 11 Winery.
And I'm Natalya Niehaus, happiness engineer.
I have a glass, but it's empty.
Ooh, A Duff 90. Her and her husband are planning on moving to Bainbridge next spring. We're excited to see you.
Wow. Have you met either of us in person, or is this your first exposure?
Yeah. Now I'm curious.
Yeah. Have you been here before? Have you had the wine before?
Because I can't wait to try the wine. Well, you can order online.
This is fascinating. Yeah. Wait. Are the 11 Winery virtual happy hours the reason that you're moving to Bainbridge? That's the really important question.
Yeah, that would.
All right, I have here a bottle of 2018 La Donella. Quiz for Natalya. Do you happen to know how many bottles of 2018 La Donella remain in inventory?
I'm like, how many
You're just gonna
boxes? No,
guess.
not off the top of my head.
You're gonna guess. Just throw out a number. Throw out a number.
400.
Wrong. Way too high. Less than 100.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's
Mary was super close, actually.
74. I'm just
Woo.
remaining positive.
Just made a big mess. Oops.
Well, that being said,
Rookie move.
try this.
Guys, virtual wine tasting is way harder than it looks. Fail.
Gotta manage the phone, wine.
Wine, computer. For all of you watching on Facebook, you can hear Natalya, but you probably can't see her. In fact, there's no way you can see her at all. Forget it. But hopefully you can hear her pretty well. She's on the live split screen from Instagram, but on Facebook, you just get the audio. I would explain it, but it's too confusing. All right, so now that I didn't spill the whole thing, it's still mostly full. I'm gonna pour some. So I counted in the warehouse. There's like I counted 8 cases. So yeah, not much. So we're coming to the end of this vintage.
I have about 3.5 cases here.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or 2.5. Sorry, I take that back. Okay.
Don't check my math, anybody. Robin, awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I had people, someone come in today and get all the wines that we're doing for virtual happy hour so they can join in and taste the same wines, which I think is really awesome.
That's so awesome. We should offer a virtual happy hour pack.
We do a wine club, a Duff 90.
Yeah. Not just a wine club, the wine club.
The wine club.
The best wine club around. The best wine club for miles. All right.
True. Oh, yes.
Thanks, Robin and Melissa. All right. All right. You've got some. I've got some. All right. Let's.
La Donella is one of my favorite white wines on like a nice hot day because it's so easy to drink. And I like when it was sunny and we could come in into the tasting room, I'd come in here when the days I wasn't working, and a glass of this was like the greatest thing in the summer.
Heck yeah. Gosh, that's tasty.
Mm.
Yum.
It's fruity up front, little effervescent, so a nice little bubble on your tongue. Dries out really nicely so it doesn't sit there and linger.
It's got that magical level of sweetness that makes you think, hey, that's delicious, but is that sweet? And then by the time you swallow it, it's like, wait, was that sweet?
Huh. It's really easy to sip on. People have called it a patio pounder here.
Who would do such a thing? Right.
So tell me.
Yes.
Why is it called La Donella?
Why is it called La Donella? Okay. It's a really long story. I will try to make it short. La Donella is a made-up name. So we have this bike theme going. You may have noticed we have a bike theme going at a winery, and we have a bike racing theme going at the winery too. And so some of the wines are named after bike races. Some bike races, yes. Some bike races have been around long enough that they have nicknames. We're talking about bike races in Europe where they're really super into bike racing. And some of the bike races have been around as long as there have been bikes, like over 100 years. And this one, so there's a race from Liège to Bastogne to Liège, which are cities in Belgium, and it's the oldest continuously run bike race in the world. So it's named like the Grande Dame, or in French it's La Doyenne, which is like literally the old lady. But it would translate as like Grande Dame. But as it turns out, La Doyenne is trademarked by another winery over in Woodinville. So, so we called it that for a few years until we found out. We called it La Doyenne, and then we're like, oh, all right, maybe we'll just
Whoops.
move to something else. And it was a little bit tricky for people to say anyway. So I came up with something else that sounded kind of similar and Italianish um, and a little bit easier to say than Doyenne, Donella. Um, and kind of yeah. So that's the story about why it's called that.
I think the name really suits the wine.
It's like sweet young thing, kind of.
Hmm.
If you were translating fake Italian into English, the fake Italian translation is sweet young thing.
There you go. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So what's the composition of this wine?
Mm. It's 100% delicious. Oh wait, you meant what grape varieties?
Yes, what grape
Um,
varieties?
it is 100% Sauvignon Blanc from Red Mountain.
Ooh.
Um, why, you may ask, is it not labeled Sauvignon Blanc?
Yes.
Um, because in my mind, Sauvignon Blanc should be bone dry, 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 dry. Um, and this wine is not that. It's got, as we discussed earlier, magical sweetness. So, so I decided not to label it as Sauvignon Blanc. There were, you know, Sauvignon Blanc is one of the oldest varieties that we get. I mean, the longest running varieties that we get. Are you getting messages to bring wine home now?
Yeah, my dad's commenting. I will,
Uh,
father.
Thank you guys for jumping in on the comments and let us know what you're drinking too. You guys are doing awesome on comments today. There are so many I can't even read them all, which is awesome. Wait a minute. Haha, don't mind me.
double screening.
I'm not sure what happened there. Anyway, um, evidently I thought I was live on Facebook, but what's going on? Oh boy, Facebook.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Facebook. All right. I was talking about, so we've been getting grapes from this vineyard, from Arts Vineyard, since 2003, our very first vintage.
Oh, wow.
Um, and these vines, gosh, I mean, they're pretty old. Even at the time, they were significantly old. I wish I could remember exactly when they were planted, but they're at least 30 plus years old at this point.
Wow.
And I love New Zealand, like grassy style Sauv Blancs, but Red Mountain is a hot climate and it will not produce that kind of fruit, like full stop. It's just too hot there
Oh.
for that style. So um, after trying to make, that dry style for a lot of years, um, I decided to make a sweeter style. And it was partly because, we had fermentations that as you get to the tail end of the fermentation, it slows down. And so I'll be tasting the wine, to see whether it's done yet, and I decided that I really liked it with that little bit of sweetness in it. And so I just let it stop and bottled it like that. And I was a little bit nervous the first time because I hadn't bottled a sweet wine before. And you have to be really, really careful. You have to do a really good job at it.
Bottling the sweet
At,
wine?
at the filtration, yeah, because there are yeast everywhere, and yeast they live to eat sugar. So you have to be really careful with your sterile filtration. You have to do a really good job, and it's not easy. Um, it's a lot of work to get the wine that clean and filtered sterile for bottling, and bottle it sterile and keep it sterile while it's being bottled and all that stuff. It's a little bit of a hassle, but totally worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
So the effervescence in this, that nice, like slight bubble that you taste, how does that happen?
So that's residual carbonation from the fermentation. So the part of the yeast are eating the sugar, making alcohol, but they also make carbon dioxide. So it bubbles through the wine. It's like a giant soda. And then the wine is in a big tank, 750 gallon tank, and that's sealed. It's a closed top tank. So there's really no way for the CO2 to get out. I mean, we have a valve on the top that lets pressure out so it doesn't blow up. But that's not enough to over the 6 months or whatever that's going to sit in tank, um, that is not enough time for it to just degas naturally. In fact, we have to force it to release some of that CO2
Oh, wow.
prior to bottling. Otherwise, it would be way more fizzy than this even.
How do you push out that CO2 or force it out?
Um, you just you agitate it, and the way we agitate it is by bubbling. You bubble nitrogen through it, and
Okay.
yeah. So if you were to look at it from the top when the nitrogen is bubbling up, so we hook the nitrogen up to the bottom and blow it in. And if you're standing at the top, it would look like the thing was boiling.
Really?
Yeah, it's
You'll
pretty.
have to get a video of that next time you're making the La Donella.
Oh yeah, that's not
Something
bad.
to share.
Yeah, it's makes me a little nervous to like go anywhere near that operation, but yeah,
Okay.
it
Valid.
why not?
Maybe in a crane or something.
I'm up for
I don't know.
I'm up for some high risk winemaking behavior. Sure.
Just live on the edge.
Yeah, why the heck not? Um, so do you have any of the 2019 vintage down there?
I do not.
That's too bad.
No. Do you?
'Cause I have one. Oh.
I'm green with envy, if you can't
I,
tell.
so I am going to um, open this up and try them side by side and see how it goes. I'm going to try and restart my Facebook video at the same time. Yeah.
So, A Bolts 18
That's our
says the
Armetha.
28 law. Armetha. Oh, you just came in and got some Donella.
She's helped
The
us with bottling a
2018
bunch of
Donella with roasted chickpea Mediterranean couscous with zucchini and grape tomatoes. That sounds really good.
Wow.
What would you pair with the La Donella?
Me personally?
Yeah, what would you like if you had to pick one thing to have with the Donella?
One thing. Gosh. I like it with like sausages, like
Ooh.
salty, yummy
Like
sausages off the grill, that kind of
like
thing.
a Polish sausage or
Maybe like a grilled Italian sausage or
like a
yeah,
spicy?
German sausage would be good.
Mm.
Okay, either of those, or like Thai food also good.
Yes, that's
Okay,
usually
wait.
my go-to.
Uh, uh, what? That is ridiculous. All right, so I got the. Here, wait. Do you want me to pour you some of the 19?
Yes. Here.
Okay. There we go.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
okay. Thank you. Perfect.
Um. Whew. So
Ooh,
18, 19. I put them in different glasses so people could tell.
there you go.
Nettle pesto gnocchi. Wow.
Ooh.
Fancy. Great Fairy Race. I don't know what that is.
Great fairy race. Ravioli. Mm.
Okay, well, they smell so different. That's pretty dramatic.
When did you bottle the
We've
19?
we've talked about this a little bit on this show before. How the 19 Sauv Blanc just has really amazing aromatics. When did we bottle it? We bottled it on March 18th.
The Great Fairy Race is a whoa. I hailed that. Is a half marathon in June.
Oh. I don't find people are generally too excited about wine tasting immediately after sporting events.
Yeah.
But, it's not a terrible idea.
I mean, to each their own.
Hey, it seems like your split screen's working this time, or our split
I know.
screen. That's
I
awesome.
deleted the app, re-downloaded the app. I was a little nervous. I had to get a new phone there for a second, but we're all good.
So the 19 definitely has really cool aromatics, like I said. Comes across a little bit less sweet, honestly.
Really?
Hmm.
So it has a nice effervescence in that one too.
Um, a little bit less, I would say.
Dang.
I don't know.
Now, how does that differentiate?
It's not quite as cold.
Like what happened in the winemaking process between um, with the 2019 that makes it different from the 2018?
Hmm. Well, in the winemaking, we pretty much made it exactly the same. The biggest difference is, um, well, the grape growing changed. So the vineyard changed owners, um, and the new owners made some improvements to the irrigation, so they're able to deliver water more consistently throughout the growing season, which I think improved the quality of the fruit, and definitely and certainly changed it.
Mm-hmm.
And on the winemaking side, that last, so the way that we get the little bit of sweetness in this is, um, we stop the fermentation before it's totally dry. But in the case of this wine, it's generally always more like it slows way down at the end of fermentation, and we're just kind of like trying to keep it going, trying to keep it going, trying to keep it warm, stirring the yeast off the bottom, keep them in suspension, just trying to do everything we can to encourage them to keep going, um, and then until it gets to the point where we want, and then we stop. But it's never an exact science.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So those of you watching, it might be really interesting to do a side-by-side comparison of the 19 and 18. So
For sure.
knowing that and the amount of Donella that we have currently,
Mm.
about 100 bottles maybe, come and get the 18 before we run out, so then you can have it and then do a side-by-side or a mini vertical.
Yes. I didn't realize we were so low on 18. I thought that was going to last a bit longer.
Me
The
too.
19 will definitely be in the July club release. And let's see. And Craig on Colorado is I'm not sure quite what he's saying, but I think they're watching in two different locations.
That's awesome.
I think that means they're roping other people in.
Double stream.
And so we may be releasing that 19 in advance of the wine club release in July. That could be a thing that happens. We are definitely going to be so breaking news. If you're in our wine club, you can look forward to our semi-annual case sale coming up on May 1st, because Mayday! Mayday! This is like perfect. May 1st, Friday.
Wow.
Semi-annual case sales. So if you're seeing some discount wine on sale around town, you're thinking, I want to get some discount wine. Mayday. Case sale. May 1st. Check it out.
That's exciting.
Yep. But you do got to be a wine club member to take advantage of the case sales. So make sure you get signed up for the wine club before that.
Exactly.
Let's see. What else you got?
They've drank it all by then.
And that's what I was thinking. Yeah. We're hearing reports of people running out of wine. We can't have that. We're here. We're here for you guys.
And for people who are not a part of the club and want a discount as well, even before the case sale, if you join the club, you get an instant 20% off all your bottle purchases.
There you go.
So.
Cool.
Gotta go to wine fridge. So you've been making the Donella since 2003.
Sauvignon Blanc. I don't remember what the first vintage of Donella was, because we'd made it dry style Sauvignon Blanc for a bunch of years, like probably 5 or 6 before we switched over to this style. Um, yeah.
Wow.
One of our wine club members is having a birthday on May 1. Happy birthday to you. Cases of
Happy
wine.
early birthday. That's a good present. You got to make sure you get that the wine right to you. Matt knew.
Mm. Okay, well, whether you go with the 18 or the 19 or both, you are in good shape. Let me tell you.
That's just
All
nice
right.
and in the bubble that I feel like kind of would, in a sense, mellow out that spice or really complement it nicely. And if you're thinking
Yeah.
Thai food, pad Thai, pad see-ew, super good.
When you order your Thai food, do you order it like spicy hot or spicy not?
Spicy hot. I
Oh
want my
yeah.
nose to run. I want to sweat a little, just so I know that I'm really getting the full effect of the spice. And it's good for you, right?
Is it?
That's what I've been told. Spicy hot. Well, now the question is, like, there's so many um, Thai places out there, so it's like, where are you going? You know,
On this island,
on
we
this
are we are
island,
we are we are long in Thai food for sure.
not a bad problem to have.
Yeah.
Spend our money on groceries and wine. Smart.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us. I've had a blast tasting La Danilla with you guys. Both vintages.
Oh.
And I do like little and
Tomorrow we're tasting some dessert wine for those who want to tune in for that.
yes, tomorrow we'll be tasting the Angelica 2014 barrel-aged white port. Check it out. Maybe we should actually get some food to go with that.
Oh, I suggest blue cheese.
How do you? Yeah, that's a good idea.
Love blue cheese with the Angelica.
I wonder how that would taste with Viognier.
I think we're gonna
Yeah,
find out tomorrow.
have to find out. Well, if you guys are running out of wine, you know where to find us. Drop by our bottle shop on Winslow Way, where we can sell you bottles, or order online, free shipping for 6 or more bottles. And hang in there, everybody.
Hang in there.
We got this. And remember, it doesn't matter if your glass is half full or half empty. You have room for more wine.
Cheers to that.
Cheers, and we will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.